Hello, I'm Rebecca Brockton and welcome to the Meet Magento UK YouTube channel. Today I'm joined by Chris Williams, Head of Partnerships at bronze sponsor Fresh Relevance. Can you tell me a little bit about Fresh Relevance?
Of course, yeah. So Fresh Relevance, we're all about personalization. So we're a personalization platform to boost sales for online retailers. We've got about 350 clients now. So mainly in the retail and travel space. So clients like Harvey Nichols, M&M Direct, Mothercare, Space NK, Rip Curl. What we do is we collect customer data in real time and then also scrape content. And then we basically use machine learning to make sense of all that data and then give clients access to a suite of content tools so they can deploy content across email, mobile and web, and they can segment that content. They can test that content to optimize results.
Oh, brill. Sounds like you make something that is actually quite complicated, really simple. What is it that you do there?
So I look after partnerships, so SIs and tech partners, so basically building and growing relationships with e-commerce platforms, agencies, and then kind of technology that complements our own. So a key part of the role is really building awareness of the brand and doing that through kind of joint marketing events, and then also kind of driving forwards things like technical integrations with other partners.
Brill. And can you tell me a little bit about the ethos of Fresh Relevance?
Sure, yeah. So as you said, we aim to make personalization easy with lots of tools under one roof. So we try and do that at a competitive price. You know, you'll bring together what would traditionally sit in lots of other platforms in one platform. So we hope to kind of inspire marketers to do great things to increase sales and really make them kind of heroes within their own companies. So yeah, we're passionate about client results and obviously customer successes as well.
Is there anything about Fresh Relevance that might surprise viewers?
Yeah, I think the key for me when I first joined about a year ago was the flexibility with other platforms and the ease of setup. So things like email integrations are all built in. E-commerce platforms we hook in via the front end, and ratings and reviews we've got ratings and review integrations built in as well. So you may think Fresh Relevance is all about content. But actually we do lots of clever things to do with data as well. So not only can you upload data to enrich customer segments, but you can also export data like analytical data, segments, and then raw data for use in other platforms.
Awesome. And how do you feel that Fresh Relevance fits into the wider Magento community?
So we've traditionally worked with mid to upper mid market, so brands with great ambitions to grow. Obviously, Magento is also kind of all about growth. So complex stores, brands with an international presence, maybe large product catalogs, and kind of non-standard product attributes. So Fresh Relevance deal quite well with all of that. We, I think, really help brands drive conversion and sales by tying up the email platform with web platform and doing obviously lots of clever things to do with data as well.
Brill. And what do you think are the best reasons to sponsor Meet Magento UK?
Good question. So for us, it's brand awareness. Obviously, there's a lot of great speakers there. A lot of great brands sponsoring as well. So for me, it's a chance to network, hear some great content, and also go for a few drinks afterwards.
And how did you actually become involved with sponsoring this event?
So we've recently become a JH partner, which I'm very excited about because you guys are all very friendly and easy to get along with and run some great events. So yeah, that's the main reason.
Brill. And we love partners. We especially love tech partners that can help us and help our clients as well. So thank you very much for that. So what do you think makes the Magento community such an important part of the e-commerce industry overall?
I think that everyone's just really passionate about the platform. Obviously, heavily involved in making the product better. Yeah, I think you only have to attend the Magento meetup to realise why people love it. You know, everyone's very friendly. There's a huge user base, and yeah, I think the community are ready to kind of tackle any issues that arise and kind of discuss those issues at events and over drinks and stuff.
Absolutely, I think that is so true. What do you think has been the biggest leap forward in the e-commerce industry so far?
I think the ease of growth. There's an ability now to kind of set up a business. You know, I've got friends who basically been very successful with the Magento platform. You know, a fairly low cost, and you know, we've got managed scalability to be able to design a brand and grow online. So I think the platforms move forwards a lot with you know, Magento 2 and the competitiveness in the enterprise space.
How do you see the e-commerce industry moving forward in the next 12 months?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. So for me, I hate to use the term artificial intelligence because I think it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment. Lots of people are using it. So kind of the intelligence that sits in front of all the data that's being collected on customers. So, you know, obviously there's lots of innovation going on in the world of kind of virtual reality, augmented reality, which is interesting. But for me, it's not perhaps going to be used by marketers in the near term. It's more developments around, especially machine learning, which are going to be useful. So to put that into practice, I suppose artificial intelligence around email subject lines and marketing content has been a key one. Advertising, social media, you know, the technology that we're already using, smart pricing, and even the kind of disruptive forces around. I know I don't have one myself, but Google Home, Amazon Echo, that type of thing. Whereas, you know, a lot of people are talking about headless UI and, you know, not looking at an e-commerce store altogether. I suppose that's going to be the key thing for me. I know marketers obviously are going to be facing still lots of challenges around data integration, silo teams and skills. And really with GDPR, the need to balance things like personalization with protection of data. But you can do lots of clever things now with collecting data through in real time through signals. So you don't actually have to, you know, now bribe consumers with competitions on, you know, to collect their data. You can use lots of clever things, you know, what they're signaling to you in order to sell to them, you know, not just online but in store, you know, connecting up. You know, Farfetch's store of the future. I went to Tommy Hilfiger the other day, and they've got connected mirrors.
Wow.
Product recommendations. You can log in, wish lists. Yeah, it's all really exciting. So yeah, the in-store experience especially is going to be interesting to see how brands change. Obviously, the high street is you know, it's a bit of a depressing view at the moment from brands that haven't innovated. So the brands that do, you know, they're really pushing forwards and doing interesting things.
Absolutely. You mentioned a few things there, like AI, conversational commerce, in-store innovations. Would you say that those are the things that you're most excited that are upcoming changes in the e-commerce industry?
Definitely, yeah. And the industry in general. For us, it's we've got lots of research going on in terms of machine learning and artificial intelligence. So yeah, the intelligence that sits behind the deployment of content. At the moment, we work with brands strategically to look at a roadmap for content and personalization. But I think it's going to get probably easier with embedding best practice behind content deployment, where it will all be done eventually more and more automatically without you having to kind of think about it. You put your strategy in place, and you can see how you're performing quite quickly through the data and the intelligence that you're collecting.
Brill. And I think a lot of these, like, I find these kinds of conversations really fascinating. And I think we're going to have a lot of these at the event next week. So why do you feel that attending Meet Magento UK is a good idea?
So obviously, not knowledge, it always helps with events. You hear things that you might not do in your day-to-day job. You know, you get a chance to remove yourself from day-to-day life and go and meet some interesting people, hear some interesting talks. Obviously, it's not all just about drinking and networking. There are some interesting speakers there. So, for me, I'd probably be sticking to the merchant panel rather than the tech stream. So, I think there's a lot of interesting people on there. The VP of Magento Sales, what they're going to do around the Adobe acquisition. I think that's the question on everyone's lips. So I think the data and insights to power e-commerce. I think that was an interesting one that stood out for me. So I'll probably attend that one.
Definitely, there's a lot of really good talks. Especially, I'm favouring the merchant track because I'm hosting that track, so I'm a bit biased. But there's so many talks across the whole event that are really good, and we'll definitely hit the mark on a lot of the topics that everyone wants to hear about. So, what are you most looking forward to about Meet Magento UK?
Well, I think I wasn't expecting a Magento event in the UK this year. Obviously, you've got Imagine over in the States, and then upcoming Barcelona trip. But for me, it's a nice surprise to have an event here in the UK. It's always nice in the summer as well to get out and about. For me, the talks that are gonna happen on that merchant track, I will be visible at a lot of those. So
Perfect. Brilliant. I think when obviously we found out that Magento Live was moving to Barcelona, I think that's incredibly exciting and really good. But I was also like, oh man, we're not going to have an event in the UK. We're not going to get this community together because we are quite a small country in the big world of things, but we have a lot of talent here and a lot of passion as well. So I think it was inevitable that we needed to have an event of our own and pull everyone together. So it's really exciting. Thank you very much for answering all my questions, Chris. I've really enjoyed talking to you. Have you got any closing remarks that you'd like to end on?
No, I'm looking forward to people that I haven't met before. It's always interesting to put a face to a name that you've been emailing or you might have had a few calls with. So always looking forward to meeting new people and hearing about even new brands that I haven't heard of before. A lot of inspiring people who own companies or work for companies that I'd like to connect with. So looking forward to it.
Well, thank you very much. If you like this video, make sure you give me and Chris a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything, and we'll see you at the event.